I'm Claire Macdonald. For 46 years I cooked in our hotel, Kinloch Lodge in the Isle of Skye, now run by our daughter Isabella. I am so happy to be a small cog in the huge wheel that is 500 miles and the big dinner. And my contribution is this, Panna Cotta with rhubarb, flavoured with orange and ginger. First, the Panna Cotta. Panna Cotta is a delicious, easy pudd, but it has one or two pitfalls along the way. I have here half a pint, 300 mils of single cream that is heated till it was scalding, and it's heated with a split vanilla pod, split so that the tiny seeds that pack the interior of the vanilla pod permeate the cream as it heats to scalding point, then cools, then reheats. Somehow a chemical action happens during this time that means you need far less gelatine than you otherwise would to set this amount of liquid. So I have got my gelatine here, soaking in cold water. Leaf gelatine is so much easier to use than powdered used to be. I'm using this Dr. Oetker. You need to check the packet, how many leaves you need. For this, my recipe, halve it once you've scalded the single cream and vanilla. I'm going to drop my soaked leaf gelatine in here. I want to fish out my vanilla pod and scrape it down to remove the seeds and add even more vanilla flavour to this, the cream that is going to be the Panna Cotta with the gelatine in it. Now stir that, both the seeds from the vanilla pod and the gelatine, which dissolves almost instantly, and then divide it between glasses, looks pretty, or container of your choice. It could be a large ramekin, it could be one large bowl. I'm just using 2 glasses here, like that. Put that there. Spilled a bit of cream, no problem. There we go. So that's the Panna Cotta. The cream brought to scalding point where a skin forms cooled, and that's it. Then the gelatine stirred in. But the combination of Panna Cotta with a fruit, a sharp fruit particularly, is delicious. You can cook raspberries, for example, just until the juice runs. Cool them, taste them, sweeten them, spark the flavour with, there goes a stick of rhubarb on the floor, we'll leave it there. You can spike the flavour of raspberries and strawberries with lemon, but I'm using rhubarb. I love the taste of rhubarb. Just trim off the leaves at one end and the other end of the stalk and chop those stems as I'm doing here. It is sharp in taste. It makes so much juice of its own. Never be tempted to add any water to the rhubarb as it cooks. Just put it in a container. I'm going to add the pared rind of a washed orange. A potato peeler is the best gadget to do this because it avoids getting any of the bitter white pith in with the rhubarb. You don't want to introduce any bitterness. Good sharp potato peeler is just the thing. Chop ginger as much or none at all if you'd rather not. I love ginger and it belongs in here. I also like to use the syrup from the preserved ginger jar as the sweetener. There we go. You may need to add more. People like sugar and sweetness in varying amounts. You just cook according to how you like to eat. That has a lid clamped on and it cooks until the rhubarb just collapses. Then you can either do as I've done here with this cooked rhubarb. You can whiz it to a puree, you can leave it chunky, it's up to you. Here are my ones I made yesterday, my set panna cottas, and I'm just going to spoon my rhubarb puree on top. It's not quite puree, it's got a texture, and I don't think any more garnish is needed for these. You might like to serve them with ginger, thin crisp ginger biscuits, but they make a really good, elegant finale to any lunch, supper, dinner. And the best thing is, it's all got to be made ahead. So it's really convenient, a pudding. There's my panna cotta, vanilla panna cotta, with rhubarb, orange and ginger. And I hope you enjoy it. And I wish all success to 500 miles.